Positive EV betting strategy is the most profitable sports betting method around. Anyone can do it, calculations are simple, and I can prove it because I've made fortunes using it myself. I'll bring the strategy down in layman's terms, explain where it's most profitable, why it beats other strategies, and share a real example by the end of this video. It works regardless of the sportsbook or where you are in the world. So what exactly is positive EV betting strategy? EV is short for expected value, which is a term originating from probability theory. It signifies the anticipated return on a bet or a trade. Quantitative analysts in the financial sector often use it as a metric for value. Now, in sports betting, calculating the bet's expected value is simple. It's the cumulative total of every possible outcome's payoff multiplied by its likelihood of winning. Let's take a football match between West Ham and Chelsea as an example. If the Betfair Sportsbook offers odds of 2.8 for the draw, you'd profit by £1.80 for every £1 stake, assuming that the match ends in a draw, of course. However, if either team wins, you lose your £1 stake. So the EV for this bet is calculated by the probability of the draw multiplied by 1.8, added to the probability of the match ending in either team winning multiplied by -1. So in this instance, it means that the draw odds have a negative expected value of 23 pence or 23.28%. Now I know some people don't like doing the maths, so there's a free EV calculator online here that will do it all for you, just like this one. So when you work out the EV for the majority of bets on a sportsbook, their value is negative because of course it includes the house edge. In short, the bigger the negative EV figure, the more they're ripping you up. However, plus EV odds are available every single day. I'll show you where and when shortly, but as an illustration, if the draw in our example was priced at 4.0, it would become a positive EV bet. The simplest method to determine a bet's probability in sports betting is by consulting the betting exchanges or sharp books like Pinnacle. Betting exchanges make their money from commissions on winnings after the event has been settled. So it's a free market where prices are controlled by supply and demand with no margin. Plus, the sharpest minds in sports betting play big on the exchanges. Their cumulative knowledge makes pricing incredibly accurate, especially when it's close to the event's start. So if you've heard of the wisdom of crowds or law of large numbers, effectively, this is what I'm talking about here. Making money with positive EV betting is reliant on slow updates and miscalculated odds. Now don't worry, this isn't a match betting or arbitrage video, but promotional offers can create a positive EV bet. Bookmakers regularly offer short-term positive EV bonuses in an attempt to hook in long-term losers and degenerates. If you're going to use them, make sure that you do it effectively. There's a separate video on that linked in the description down below. Now, to be profitable, we need to focus our sports betting on positive EV bets only. Let's delve into a theoretical scenario to illustrate how positive EV betting performs in contrast to arbitrage betting, for example. The results might surprise some of you. So let's assume we've got an under-over 2.5 goals market on a football match where both outcomes are equal. There's a 50% chance of either outcome happening. They're evenly matched. This means that the fair odds would be 2.0 in decimals, evens in fractions, or plus 100 in American odds. However, for argument's sake, let's say there's an odds discrepancy with the over 2.5 goals priced at 3.0, whereas the under 2.5 goals are priced at 1.8. If we're using positive EV betting strategy, staking £20, then the focus would be on the over 2.5 goals bet because this is where the plus EV selection is at 3.0. We would need to place our £20 stake on overs at 3.0 and totally disregard the alternate betting line. Now, if the bet wins, we secure £40 profit, and if it doesn't, we lose our £20 stake. To understand the expected value of this bet, we multiply the probability of happening by the potential payout. So 50% multiplied by £40 plus 50% multiplied by negative £20 is equal to £20 minus £10, giving us a positive EV of £10 for this bet. Again, here's an EV calculator confirming the numbers. But by way of comparison, if we were to rerun the simulation, approaching it as an arbitrage bettor, it would look a little bit like this. The arbitrage bettor would split the stakes, placing £7.50 on overs at 3.0 and £12.50 on unders at 1.8. When you look at the respective payouts of either of those lines, if it should win, it leaves a total profit of £2.50 once the initial £20 stake has been deducted, significantly less than when using the positive EV betting strategy. Now, if that's confused you, you might want to watch that last minute or so again and look at those calculations. So there's no question, positive EV betting is a lot more profitable than arbitrage, although the obvious downfall is the short-term variance in results. An unfortunate run of bad variance with results can be a little bit testing if you haven't got the nerve for it, although long-term, the numbers don't lie. And I can prove it with my own profits, as you'll see in just a second. Aside from the short-term variation in results, there are several other beneficial factors to consider when comparing positive EV betting and arbitrage. Sure, arbitrage betting offers a risk-free avenue where you profit every single time, regardless of the outcome. But it's worth considering that twice the amount of bets need to be placed, and the second hedge bet often reduces the overall expected value. You can hedge with a betting exchange where the odds are on offer are likely to represent a neutral EV figure, although there's commission on your exchange winnings. The only exception being if you can get 0% commission via a service like OddsMonkey. The most favourable options depend on your own risk appetite, but factually speaking, positive EV betting strategy is the optimal approach when viewed in the context of long-term frequent betting. As I've said, the return is just so much better. Now, there's a couple of ways to maximise your profits and reduce risk with positive EV strategy. I'll show you some solid examples in a second, but first, the shortcut to enhancing your profits and reducing risk. The first golden rule is to only bet on positive EV bets, and when you do, stake in line with the positive EV margin. The bigger the value margin, the bigger we should stake. So where can you find plus EV bets easily? There are multiple places every day. Typically, the best opportunities are around the speed at which odds change and the lower quality betting events where pricing is harder for the bookmakers to quantify and keep track of. An example of lower quality might be the foreign low quality football leagues and ancillary markets like unders, overs, goals, corners and cards. An example of speed at which odds change might be the horse racing markets or greyhound betting. Again, lower quality racing throws up the best opportunities for such price discrepancies, especially in the final minutes counting down to post. Personally, I prefer to focus on the fast changing odds. Now, there are several software tools that can help you do this, although there are two main options. First, you have tools that identify mispriced betting odds. If you're in the United States or Australia, OddsJam will help you out. And if you're in the UK, OddsMonkey is best. Now, unfortunately, wherever you are, the platforms can't fully automate the process for you. The sportsbooks just wouldn't allow it. They hate people using sophisticated tools like this. After all, plus EV betting has a mathematical advantage over the house, and they know it. However, the tools can show you exactly where positive EV opportunities exist in real time. Here's a couple of positive EV bets highlighted by OddsJam on the screen, and a bunch of others with OddsMonkey. Now, the second option is my personal favourite. You'll need to be quicker when doing it, although the positive expected values are far higher when using this method, particularly on high-speed betting markets like the greyhounds. Now, I share my personal betting history with over £6,000 profit from one account and explain the full strategy here in the end screen, so please go and check out that video now. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.